Alright, welcome back everybody to another episode of ADHD and Crochet. And we are going to continue with our hat today. Today we're specifically sewing on our little snowflakes here, and they're not too little. They're actually quite big. Now I did try to make sure I did a different snowflake for each level of the hat, because no two snowflakes are the same. Now, last video I kind of forgot to include the snowflakes where I found them and things like that. But I kind of figured we didn't really focus on them last video anyways, so it's fine. I'll just include them this time in the description, because now we're actually going to focus on them and really look at them, at least if you're actually watching and not just listening to me, you can. If I sound a little tired today, it's because I am. For no reason in particular, my ADHD was really strong yesterday, and decided to make it so I could not sleep until 1 a.m. And then my alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. I don't remember turning my alarm off this morning, but I remember saying goodbye to my husband this morning. So there's that. So I am a little bit tired, and Panzer was nice enough to help me get out of bed this morning by chewing on things that he should not. I had, keyword on had, these this little stick of like holly berries or whatever, red berries on a stick. They were styrofoam berries. And Panzer apparently decided that that was an optimal texture to chew on, and he did so and broke them. He chewed a couple of them in half, so I just threw the whole stick away, because obviously we can't have those. So he chose violence this morning. But here we are. I think I also forgot to put the flower pattern in there for the poinsettia. So I'll make sure I include that this time as well. Now, if I remember correctly, the snowflakes, they were all just visual patterns. They were not like written out. It was just like the drawn diagrams, which are a little bit more difficult for me to follow, only because I'm not used to them. But I did manage to find like a key and whatnot for what the different symbols actually meant. I have a nice black tea because it's a little stronger on the caffeine than my normal green tea. So hopefully it should chill me out and also help me wake up. The wire on my poinsettia flowers wants to stick out more than I want it to. Alright, I don't think we need that pin in there anymore. Andrew, you've already gotten into things you shouldn't this morning. Do we really need to do this again? Come here. No, not on the desk, sir. Come here. Very cute. You're very lucky. You're cute. Yeah, you know it. I'm not trying to make a knot here, just trying to make a stitch. Now, I do plan to go all the way around the edge of the snowflake here. And just really make sure that it is tacked down. I might do a couple stitches in the center as well, or near the center. The center is a magic ring, so that might be a little on the difficult side. I say might, it probably will be on the difficult side. Now, I decided to use the snowflakes as appliques, but you could probably turn these into like a mobile or just something else. And you're probably going to see me mess with these a lot in vain. Don't think my messing with the poinsettia of wire is helping anything. Might just have to get some glue for that. But yeah, you could probably do all sorts of things with these. They are just flat pieces, but they make for great decorations, or appliques and such. I was worried I didn't give myself enough string for this, but I think I did. I think we'll be fine. Now I'm only 2 prongs of the snowflake in, but it's fine. Now these videos are not super in advance this month. It has been a little bit hectic and crazy. I have been doing these just every week, just sometime in the middle of the week. Not like recording this on a Sunday morning and then posting it on a Sunday afternoon. My weekends are rather busy. So it's like Wednesday for me recording this. And my mother-in-law is coming into town tomorrow, and I'm very excited. I like my in-laws. She's not staying through Christmas. She's only staying for like a week or two, or like a week. But that is just fine. We have some cool stuff to show her. So I'm excited. We are probably going to take her to the aquarium, which has like Christmas lights throughout the aquarium right now. And it's also like one of the coolest aquariums I've been in. And there's a Polar Express attraction as well that we want to take her to. It would be kind of cool if we got snow while she was here. But I also like don't want it to snow on the days that she's flying in or flying out for safety reasons. I was a little bit worried that sewing these on would not take as much time as I wanted it to, but I think we're going to be fine because we are almost a fourth of the way through the video and I'm not even done with one of these. So I may not actually finish putting all of these on this video, and that's fine. I can finish that out of frame or whatever, off camera. We don't need a Christmassy, wintry witch hat taking up all of December. I do have a Christmas sweater to finish as well. Like I stated last time. At least I think I stated it last time. Maybe it was just in my head. I don't know. But I have a pet sweater that I've been working on modifying, and I got all the pieces made. Now we just gotta sew it together. Might record that video tomorrow. And I have some editing to do today, alongside my many dishes that I need to do. I'm getting a dishwasher for Christmas, and I'm very excited about it. This house does not have a dishwasher. Dishwasher is me. I'm rather excited to be getting a portable dishwasher because we rent this house, so that dishwasher will be coming with us when we leave. Yep, Panzer chose violence this morning. He's now pestering Pipsqueak. You can hear her growling in the distance. I'm like 90% sure that the microphone is not picking up Pipsqueak growling, but it is quite entertaining. They definitely have the classic sibling relationship of I'm going to annoy you. No one else is allowed to annoy you. Tea is good. Today I have it's a black tea that's like vanilla and salted caramel, and it's really put honey in it. But I think I prefer it with just like regular sugar, a little bit of milk. But I am already kind of dealing with some stuff this morning, so I did not think the extra milk would be good for me. So I did not put my creamer in it. And by creamer, I mean like heavy cream or whole milk. Both are really good in tea. Now we are reaching our last little bit here. We're almost back where we started on our snowflake here. And we are getting a little bit short on our string, so I think I gave myself just enough to get around here. These little loopies are very cute. I thought they were fun to make. They were a little confusing at first, and I'm not 100% sure that I did them correctly. But you know what? That just makes this snowflake more of my own. by doing it wrong. Alright, I don't think I'm actually going to do a center stitch at all on this one. I'm already really low on the string I have for this, so we're just going to thread this into the snowflake after making our knot, and snip snip, because that's all I have to work with, which I don't feel like is really enough, so we're just going to move on. Alright, now we're going to move on to the next snowflake, which I tried to do a smaller one, more of a smaller version of this first snowflake. Looks very similar. It has the little 3 loopies at the end. But here is that one snowflake here. Now, there is a seam going all the way around here. That is what we are covering with these snowflakes. I think the tea is beginning to work, my 2 sips of it. It is a drinkable temperature now. It's not too hot, and it's not cold yet either. I am probably going to take a few more sips just so that I can enjoy it before it gets cold. It's a cold morning, enough for me to really want to have a sweater on. The high today is 45 degrees, which, coming from Arizona, that's very cold. I think the low today is freezing, 32 in freedom units, as some people like to call them, because we will measure in anything but the metric system. Except if you're crocheting, because my crochet hooks are labeled in the metric system. That's good. Sometimes I wonder if we really made the imperial system over the metric system just out of spite, or if there was another reason. But then I remember this is America, and we practically live on spite, so we made that out of spite. Is it more confusing than the metric system? Yes. Do I know the metric system well? No. Should I? Probably. But I don't, because I'm American. And that's fine. It is entertaining to me how basically each state in the United States could be a full country somewhere else just based on the size of it. And that's just kind of wild to think about. I mean, I think like Texas is bigger than like 4 European countries put together. Oh Alaska is even more so. But Alaska is basically just a big snow desert anyway, so it's fine. Not hating on Alaska, I have lived there. There was very little when I lived there, but it was still fun. I caught a trout, saw a moose, our toilet froze over. Good times. It's wild to me that one of a moose's main predators is the orca, because moose will go swimming for algae and seaweed and stuff, seagrass. And where they do that is just deep enough that orcas can be swimming in there. And there's a comic somewhere online of divers swimming, and they come across a moose in the water. They're very confused. Understandably, I would also be freaked out and confused. And then all of a sudden, an orca comes by and just grabs the moose. The diver looks horrified and is probably never going to dive again. And I don't blame them. I too would also be confused and horrified and would probably quit scuba diving after that. Never been scuba diving. At least not like actually scuba diving. I've been in like a tank walk where they put the equipment on your head and walk you through the bottom of a tank, which was also cool. There were sharks in it. They were nice sharks, but they were still sharks. I think it was a nurse shark. No, it wasn't a nurse shark. I don't know, but it was cool. It was a gentle shark swimming around. One that would only be a problem if you tried to pet it, which they advised us not to try to do. And to my knowledge, no one did try. But it did come swimming directly at me because I was just happened to be in its path. I think it was a female, and she just kind of avoided me. They told us if that happened to just stand still. And so I did. Swam around me. It was quite nice. I kind of felt like being in that one scene of Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack and Will are in the rowboat on the bottom of the sea, just walking to the boat. Kind of what it felt and sounded like in the helmet. It was a 10 out of 10 experience, would do it again, but I no longer live near that aquarium. However, the aquarium I do live at has a shark tank that you can go in, and you can go in while it's feeding time. They have like a cage and whatever. So you can be in the water while the sharks are feeding. And that's pretty cool. It is also kind of expensive, understandably. And I am sure there's like 14 safety waivers that you need to sign. No, they don't like put chum in the water or anything like that. They literally just have some poles with fish in there, little targets and stuff. So, and there's more than just sharks in the tank. There's like other big fish they're also eating during that time. But yeah, you can be in the tank while they feed the sharks. I'm sure some people that's just a big nope, but I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, I kind of want to do it. Don't know if I'll get to, but I kind of want to. Hello, sir. Of course, now that it's inconvenient for me to let you in my lap is when you want to be in my lap. We gotta adjust. It's fine. He's just going to rub all over my microphone and probably try to eat it. So have fun with that, guys. He's being surprisingly good. Probably because he got smacked earlier for chewing on the things he should not be chewing on. Now, I might get a little bit of hate for smacking a cat, but this cat does not understand anything else. He only understands kisses, food, and getting smacked. The spray bottle does not work very well on this cat because he turns it into a game. Kind of likes being sprayed. So he will continue to do the thing that you do not want him to be doing. Telling him no and just taking the thing away also does not work because he is a little jerk. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he's cute. Don't eat my sweater. We've been over this. You can't eat the tassels on my sweater. Don't eat the microphone. My son is a menace to my household. One day I'm going to say that and it's not going to be about a cat. Or you won't know if it's about a cat or an actual child. Right now it's about an actual cat. Because he is, in fact, a menace and he is, in fact, my son. But when he's being a menace, he's my husband's son. They're only mine when they're good. How every child is, right? They're only yours when they're being good, and when they're not being good, they're your spouse's. Oh no. We're just gonna cut that. Not gonna mess with it. I accidentally went through to the other side of the hat. But I only like partially snagged a stitch, so I just cut it. It's fine. It's on the inside of the hat. It's not gonna be an issue. This hat's for me anyways. And I believe this brings us right back to where we started. Halfway through the snowflakes, halfway through the video. I think we're making some good time here. It is windy outside. And once again, we've made our knot, pulled it through, we're going to just snip, snip. And now we're on to the next snowflake, which is a little bit different, but apparently I just really liked the loopies the day that I made these. But this one has a lot of various strings. Because the way this one worked, I had to like fasten off and then make a loopy and then fasten off and then make another loopy. So yeah. Let's get to, no, Panzer, please don't. Can you not be yourself for like 20 minutes? Yeah, that's gonna be asking too much. For like 2 minutes while I adjust these. It's like ominously windy outside. A little bit dark out because it's like 6 in the morning. Well, it's 7 now. On a winter morning, so it's still dark. The sun is barely starting to rise. And it is very windy outside. So it is blowing all sorts of things out my window. Panzer, stop eating my hair. You're gonna get kicked out of my lap. You can't behave. Yeah, you. You can't just give me that little face of yours and think I'm just gonna not remember what you just did. Cat cutes his way out of everything. It's annoying. But he's so cute. sir. I see you. I see you. No. Reposition. That's fine. There. Yeah, I'm gonna fasten this one off. Alright, where we're at here. One more stitch, actually. One more stitch. Make sure we didn't catch anything we didn't. Okay. And then fasten off, make a little knot here. We have our next string. Hooray! The needle really wants to be on my messed up hem right now. And we're going to snip snip on this one. And move on to the next one. This one's probably going to take the longest because I have to thread the string multiple times. But it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not mad you're mad. I don't know. You might not be. Maybe you're really enjoying this. If you are, great. I appreciate it. Glad you're here. We are having a little bit of a chaos week. That's okay. My fridge is finally at the point of no return when it comes to leftovers, so I have to start throwing out whatever we didn't eat, which means I have even more dishes to do. And it's taking me 3 days to do them all. Because I don't have a lot of counter space, and I don't have a dishwasher. I'm getting one, but it won't be ready until like this weekend for pickup because it's being shipped to a store. It's my Christmas present and also probably my birthday present because my birthday is right after Christmas. Okay, though. I will take convenience of life as my Christmas present any day over some random junk that I'm gonna like. I will probably enjoy it, but I don't need, you know. So, fun times. So fun. I did dishes all day yesterday and forgot to eat lunch. So hopefully I don't do that again. Like, I took my lunch break, but I entirely forgot to actually make myself lunch. So by the time dinner and I was off work, I'm like, why am I starving? Oh, yeah. I did dishes today instead of having lunch on my lunch break. It's fine, though. We just had spaghetti sauce, pasta, and chicken tendies. Worked out great. Yeezhee pin. You are impeding my progress here. And then we're going to hide our string again. Right through there. Out of the way. Snip, snip. And on to the next. Pretty sure the only one we may not finish is the rhombus, which is the boring one anyways. So it's fine. I think while I was making these, I was watching a video short about how snowflakes became called what they are in Japan, in feudal Japan. I think their name literally translates to like crystal flowers or something like that. Some dude hyperfixated on them and drew every single snowflake he could find. When he got the technology to like actually be able to see them, which I find really cute and funny. They say things like ADHD and autism didn't exist back then, but they absolutely did. And it brought about things like crystal flowers or whatever. But his work with these snowflakes was so exciting to the people that they actually started making them into plates. The fabric, which doing that by hand must have taken forever. But whatever brings you joy. And I think I messed up on my hat a little bit. I snagged the other side again. Sir, can we not? That is not for you. Thank you. I'm just gonna finish this snowflake and then I'll save the last snowflake for off camera. It's the boring one anyways. I'm just going around a straight edge that's a diamond shape, as you can see here. Figured that would be a fine end to my trail of snowflakes here, because there, I'm sure, are snowflakes that look like that, but it is just a doily pattern. Nothing crazy. It was actually pretty simple. I think it only took me a few minutes to complete. The other ones took me a little longer to do. I think this is the most talkative I've been in a video in a while, so apparently I just need to be sleep deprived, which is not very good. Don't do that to yourselves. Get sleep. That pen literally wasn't doing anything. That's fine. Alright, pull that through, snip, snip. On to the next. We've only got like 2 more things to do, and we'll call it good for this video. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do a spring witch hat. The spring event that I would wear it to is Viking themed, so I might do a Viking hat, Viking beanie, if you will. But we'll see. See what happens there. The cat sweater video will probably come out next week, but I'm going to probably try and record it tomorrow. Because I want it to be ready for my mother-in-law to see for the cat. Because it's really cute. And while the cat who's going to wear it does have fur and is a medium hair, she likes being dressed and it is cold, so I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Make our knot. Hide the string. Alright, here we go. Alright, so while I'm finishing this up, we'll just go ahead and do our outro here. So if you liked the video, go ahead and like that video. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next one. And next week we will be doing the cat sweater. As always, I will put in the description the pattern for these snowflakes, or at least as much as I can find for who made these. I just found them on Pinterest. But you guys have a great day, happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next one.